I'm sure you've heard the news. Fishing is the ultimate way to relax and enjoy nature. Let's get you started with river fishing. River fishing is not just a hobby. It's a way to connect with the great outdoors, to find peace and tranquility away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. Whether you're looking to catch your first fish or just enjoy a quiet day by the water, river fishing has something for everyone. So let's dive into the essentials and get you ready for your first river fishing adventure. First things first, you'll need a fishing rod and some bait. Don't worry, you don't need the fancy stuff to begin with. A simple rod and some worms will do just fine. When choosing a fishing rod, look for one that is lightweight and easy to handle. For beginners, a spinning rod is a great choice because it's versatile and user-friendly. As for bait, worms are a classic option, but you can also use artificial lures or live bait like minnows. The key is to keep it simple and not get overwhelmed by the vast array of options available. Remember, the goal is to enjoy the experience and learn as you go. Next, let's talk about finding a good spot along the river. Look for areas where the water is calmer, like bends or pools. Fish tend to gather in these spots because the slower currents make it easier for them to rest and feed. Check local maps or ask around for popular river fishing spots. Local fishing shops or online forums can be great resources for finding the best locations. Once you've found a spot, take a moment to observe the water. Look for signs of fish activity, such as ripples on the surface or fish jumping out of the water. These are good indicators that you're in the right place. Now here's the fun part, casting your line. Hold the rod with both hands, pull the line back, and then flick it forward. Aim for areas with slower currents. Easy, right? Casting can take a bit of practice, so don't get discouraged if you don't get it right the first time. The key is to be patient and keep trying. As you practice, you'll develop a feel for the motion and timing. Remember to keep your movements smooth and controlled. A good cast can make all the difference in your fishing experience. Patience is key, friends. Wait for a bite, feel the tug, and then gently reel it in. Fishing is as much about patience as it is about skill. Sometimes you might have to wait for a while before you get a bite. Use this time to relax and enjoy the surroundings. Listen to the sounds of the river, watch the birds, and take in the beauty of nature. When you do feel a tug on the line, resist the urge to yank it immediately. Instead, give the fish a moment to take the bait fully before you start reeling it in. This will increase your chances of a successful catch. And there you have it, your first step into the world of river fishing. Remember, practice makes perfect. Happy fishing! As you continue to fish, you'll learn more about the habits of different fish species and the best techniques to catch them. Each fishing trip is an opportunity to learn and improve. Don't be afraid to experiment with different baits, lures, and fishing spots. The more you fish, the more you'll develop your own style and preferences. And most importantly, have fun. Fishing is a wonderful way to unwind and connect with nature. So, grab your gear, head to the river, and enjoy the adventure. Tight lines, everyone! Now, let's dive a bit deeper into some tips and tricks for river fishing. One important aspect to consider is the time of day. Early morning and late afternoon are often the best times to fish because the water is cooler and fish are more active. Pay attention to the weather as well. Overcast days can be great for fishing because fish are more likely to come to the surface. On sunny days, try fishing in shaded areas or deeper parts of the river where fish might be seeking refuge from the heat. Another tip is to be mindful of your surroundings. Move quietly and avoid making sudden movements that could scare the fish away. Wear clothing that blends in with the environment to avoid startling the fish. And always be respectful of nature and other anglers. Leave no trace and follow local fishing regulations to ensure that the river remains a beautiful and thriving ecosystem for everyone to enjoy. Let's talk about some common mistakes that beginners often make and how to avoid them. One common mistake is using too much force when casting. Remember, casting is about finesse, not power. Another mistake is not paying attention to the line. Keep an eye on your line at all times, as it can give you important clues about what's happening underwater. If you see the line moving or feel a slight tug, it could mean that a fish is nibbling on the bait. Also, avoid the temptation to constantly reel in and cast out. Give the fish some time to find your bait. Patience is key. Lastly, don't be discouraged by a slow day. Fishing is unpredictable, and some days are just better than others. The important thing is to enjoy the experience and keep learning. Now let's discuss some advanced techniques that you can try once you've got the basics down. One technique is called drift fishing. This involves allowing your bait to drift naturally with the current, which can be very effective in rivers. To do this, cast your line upstream and let it drift downstream, keeping a close eye on the line for any signs of a bite. Another technique is bottom bouncing, where you let your bait bounce along the riverbed. This can be particularly effective for catching fish that feed near the bottom. To bottom bounce, use a heavier weight to keep your bait close to the riverbed and gently lift and drop the rod tip to create a bouncing motion. Experiment with different techniques to see what works best for you and the specific conditions of the river you're fishing in. Let's not forget about safety. Always wear a life jacket when fishing in or near water, especially if you're wading into the river. Be aware of your surroundings and watch out for slippery rocks and strong currents. It's also a good idea to fish with a buddy, especially if you're new to river fishing. Having someone with you can make the experience more enjoyable and provide an extra layer of safety. Make sure to bring plenty of water, snacks, and sunscreen to stay hydrated and protected from the sun. And always let someone know where you're going and when you plan to return. Safety should always be your top priority when enjoying the great outdoors. Finally, let's talk about the importance of conservation. As anglers, we have a responsibility to protect the natural habitats that we enjoy. Practice catch and release whenever possible to help maintain healthy fish populations. Use barbless hooks to make it easier to release fish without causing injury. Handle fish gently and return them to the water as quickly as possible. Avoid fishing in areas where fish are spawning, as this can disrupt their reproductive cycles. And always clean up after yourself. Dispose of any trash, fishing line, and bait containers properly. By following these practices, we can help ensure that rivers remain vibrant and healthy for future generations of anglers to enjoy. And there you have it, friends. A comprehensive guide to getting started with river fishing. From choosing the right gear to finding the perfect spot, casting your line, and practicing patience, you're now equipped with the knowledge to embark on your river fishing journey. Remember, fishing is a lifelong learning experience, and there's always something new to discover. So get out there, enjoy the beauty of nature, and happy fishing. Tight lines and good luck.